I like Sita, the way he portrayed her in the books, because she isn't just a wife, right? She is a warrior. She is part of the strategies. She is a wife that someone like Ram would choose to be with. I am Amrita, and this is a space where we would like to talk about books that we can relate to the current events, to the trends, movies, series which are currently happening all around us. And today, I want to talk about the Ramchandra series by Amish Tripathi. Now, of course, I was inspired to pick up the book in this series. The last book which I hadn't read so far was The War of Lanka, and I was inspired to pick it up because of the great grand event that we recently had at Ayodhya for the Ram Mandir. And this made me think that, okay, I had enjoyed reading the first 3 books of the series, so maybe it's a good idea if I can finish the latest one as well. And maybe to start with a quick information about these set of books would be that I have always liked Amish's writing, and it is easy to read. It is definitely interesting. It does get a little repetitive in between, maybe, and there are some places where he, like any other author, it talks about things which are maybe not really necessary or relevant, but still, it's a good, easy read and definitely interesting read. So, I read War of Lanka now, but of course, I had read the Meluha series also, the Shiva trilogy also, which is, I would say, at least way better than the Ram series. So, let's see, we still have a book to go, and maybe it will close this chapter really well for us, right? And the reason why I like these books, I would say, is because it isn't exactly like a fairy tale or mythology epic that we know, right? It's that we have always found out about, read about, and it's sort of humanizes Ram, Sita, all of these characters, right? And honestly, in some cases, for me, I would say that some of the portrayals even sound better. Like, of course, I'll try not to go into a feminist point of view, but I like Sita, the way he portrayed her in the books, because she isn't just a wife, right? She is a warrior. She is part of the strategies. She is a wife that someone like Ram would choose to be with. So I definitely like that, and I like some of the ideas that Amish has put in, like where we can say that the Devi Astras that we would see in the serials as, arrows being shot out with some electricity and lightning happening. Instead, these are like nuclear weapons, probably, right? So it's more relatable in my mind, and maybe that's why an easier read. Anyway, so getting back to the original topic of the Ramayana and the Ram series itself. After reading this, a few questions came to my mind, and I thought that is something that I should discuss here, right? And I would love to hear about from you guys as well. So, one question, of course, just to start with, is how did you guys come to know about Ramayana? Right, Ram as a whole, Ram series, not just the books. I'm talking about Ramayana as an epic, and so for me, it was a typical serial that we used to see as a child, right? There was this, I think it was around 1980s or 1990s, where this Doordarshan national TV series would come, and we would sit on the weekends with our parents and watch, and maybe some books at that time, but yeah, that's about it, right? And I don't know, I'm not a very religious person, so I'm not sure if it's the same for everybody else, but at least that was it for me. And so maybe I would love to know how you guys came to know about Ramayana. And that made me wonder, right now, how many people or what is happening with the next generation? Do they actually know the story that well? Right? And with so much competition with Netflix, I'm not really sure how many would be watching a serial like that. But I'm hoping that the next generations also know about this, right? So maybe I'll also, this builds up to my next question, right? Do we take Ramayana as we know it as a myth or as history, right? Is it, because we call it as mythology, sort of, is it just something like a fairy tale, where there were flying people and aircrafts or magic kind of a thing happening? Or is it history? Are there actual facts there, right? So that's the next question which came to my mind. I tried from my side to do some research about it, but honestly, I'm not, like I said, a religious person or even great with history for that matter. But I did come to know at least that there are a lot of versions of Ramayana itself out there. And like the original, I suppose, was written by Valmiki. Then there's the Adbhut Ramayana. I mean, there are so many versions. There are so many Sanskrit plays that were written on top of it. So maybe out of all of this, the actual facts have been lost, and what is left is this all these different interpretations, even the serials that we see, and somehow in our minds, the history has gone away, right? It doesn't seem to be something which had already actually happened, and maybe that's a little sad. One interesting reason why I feel a little sad about this is a couple of years back I had visited Angkor Wat, and at that time, when I saw the grand scale of those ruins, right? Those are ruins right now, but if you just see the scale of it, I was surprised. I did not know that our culture, our heritage, it was so grand, it was so rich, and that's something that we have lost over the time, right? At least that's what I feel right now. And this sort of brings me to my final question, right? What should be the future for this? Yes, I give credit to Amish and his writing, because definitely, even though it's fiction, he has added his own things to it, maybe a little bit of masala, a little bit of Bollywood type of things to it, but he has kept it alive, right? He's kept the talk going. It's one of the best-selling series. People are reading about it, so that's a credit I will definitely give to him. And I hope that we can somehow get back to the history of things, right? I know there is a lot of conflict out there about what is real, what is not real. Maybe there weren't flying aeroplanes at that time, right? And maybe Ram Setu was built by humans, maybe not. But I think it's our responsibility because at least I know I would love myself and my future generations to know the facts and know about our history, our culture. And that is something which is important to me, and I'm pretty sure important to a lot of people. Maybe one solution could be to have somehow the actual facts of this as actual history, even in our schools, something we teach our children, not as a fairy tale, not as a mythology, but more as something which has actually happened, right? And maybe that would give it more importance. But I would love to hear more about your views as well on this. And I hope this knowledge, this our culture doesn't get lost. Again, when I tried to do some of my own research on this, there were some people who have given various reasons for why this is getting lost. Some say that Indian culture, it is more verbal. It wasn't at least written as much. But I don't know. We also hear about having like the Nalanda library, which was 9 stories big. So we definitely had some writing, some scriptures which filled these 9 stories. Then yeah, this. So it doesn't seem like it was all verbal. The second reason I hear is that, yes, like the Nalanda library, a lot of it got destroyed over a period of time by various people, by various countries that invaded India. Maybe that is one reason. The of course, British Raj did not help in this aspect as well, because they tried to inculcate their values, their history more, and sort of tried to undermine our history or erase that even. So these could be some of the reasons. But that should inspire us even more to actually, put the facts out there and not forget about our own history, about our own culture. So yeah, that's my view those are my thoughts after reading the Ram series. And let's hope that the last book is also, it closes this chapter well for us. So let me know what you guys think about as well.